In this video we'll discuss vices, increasing clamping force, and also some indicating tips. After much consideration, I've decided I need a new mill vise. This is my new precision toolmaker's vise, sometimes known as a grinding vise. I used to have one of these, but I sold it with my old mill. I've been planning to get one for a while. Looking at the old vise, it's fairly comparable in size, but the toolmaker's has a few advantages. Now the problem with these vices, this wasn't the sort I wanted. I wanted one that had a slot all up the side, but I'm going to have to make a clamping fixture, a little finger that goes in here and pulls the vise down to the table. So let's do that. Step 1 of machining, make it shiny. I'm not going to be able to cut this with scissors. Time out. Time to test out how good these clamps are. No good. Gonna have to look at that. So as it turns out, these don't work so well. This distance isn't far enough, so when I clamp, most of the force is going into this leg here. I was actually going to do a talk on this, funnily enough. I thought I'd get away with this design, but looking at it now, of course it wasn't going to work. So we're going to extend them. Given how thick this is and how much rigidity I want, I'm going to put a bevel on it. Now I just need a leg at the back. I'll make a better dedicated bolt to go in here eventually. I don't like this setup at the moment. Well, that works alright. It's over designed, takes up a lot of space, so I'm happy with that. So if you haven't picked up on it, the design of this is a lot like a strap clamp. One of these that normally fit with a step block. So by having this large distance here, it means that tightening down this bolt, pretty much all the force goes straight into this side. So the trade-off is it's large, but it transfers a lot of force to the vise. So probably the most interesting design feature of this clamp is how wide it is with this slot here. If I want the vise in a certain position, I'm limited by the hole spacing and where these holes are in relation to the T-slots. If I didn't have this slot here, my vise would have to sit here. If I wanted to use this hole, I would have to move my vise over the T-slot in the table. I can choose to position the vise wherever I want, so I can have infinite adjustability and movement. The added benefit is that I can actually set my vise up at angles. They do make these vises with a slot up the side, and I'd definitely recommend getting one of those if you can. And you can just about use strap clamps. I mean, technically, I'm mainly going to be working in this area and I could always chuck a clamp down here, which I probably will do. You should always try and aim for at least 3 points of contact. If you've only got 2 and 1 slips, all of a sudden you've got a pivot point and everything can spin on you. Why the screwless precision toolmaker's vise compared to a normal screw vise? I figure it's going to be a really good addition to get really accurate workpieces. Some people say there's insufficient clamping force for milling. I had one of these on my old mill and I never had an issue. Admittedly I was taking light cuts though, so we'll see how it goes. These vices are comparable size, but this allows for larger workpieces. So for the same size vise, I can fit much bigger workpieces in here, which would be good. For example, these clamps, if I had this vise, I could fit in here twice over. The biggest issue I have with these screw vices is that the movable jaw has a tendency to move and lift, especially the old vices like this one. So I've been struggling to get decently square parts with this vise. The other issue that I have with this vise is these brass jaws. These jaws are actually getting dinged up and marked, which is no good. Every time I clamp something, my vise is getting less and less precise. Now, I could probably try and face these off and clean them up. So one issue that I have with this vise is actually trying to tram it and get it square to the table. When I run an indicator over this surface, I won't set it up in the machine now, but this needle jumps all over the place and it's really hard to actually work out what's happening, whether the vise is crooked or if there's just a ding in the surface of the jaw. Little tip, if you have got a worn jaw like this, if you drop a parallel in, especially an oversized parallel that you never use, you can then run your indicator over this surface and you'll get a better result. So there's a good tip for you. I've nearly had this mill for a year and probably these clamps were the first time I've really tried out some decent heavy duty milling on it. So I was taking about 5mm depth of cuts in places and this clamp held up to it fine. It'll be interesting to see if this one can handle it. So I might actually have a setup very similar to this. I might keep this vise so I can hog out a lot of material and then I'll use this vise for finishing operations. OCD's going to get the better of me with this vise. You can see every single fingerprint. Well, that's my Christmas present to myself sorted. I can now use it. Quick change gearbox update. It's going a little bit slow. I've got a lot of projects on the go still. So this is going to be a new shed. 6 meters by 6 meters. So this will be the new fabrication and welding area. So I can swing big steel around and then keep everything in there as precision machining work. This shed will be big enough to set up a small mobile gantry crane as well. There'll be some interesting design and construction. Go through some of those in later videos as it happens. Shed out there. Saw will go. Welding equipment will go. Welding bench will go. Excuse the mess. And all my machining equipment will stay. Grinder will go out there as well. I haven't decided on the drill press whether it stays here or goes out. Merry Christmas all and have a Happy New Year. Bonus style points right there.